Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today is June 22nd, 2025, and we're really getting straight to the core of a major global event. As always, our job here is to sift through the sources, the reports, everything we've gathered, and just give you the essential takeaways, a fast track to understanding what's happening. And today, that means unpacking the U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Let's get into what our sources are telling us. So the basics. First, the material we've looked at confirms U.S. strike happened, and the immediate reported impact sounds, well, pretty severe. Three key sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, are being described as obliterated. That's a very strong term. What exactly does that mean based on the sources?
It is strong. And obliterated here, based on the intelligence assessment cited in our material, seems to mean rendering those specific facilities unusable for their nuclear roles, at least for the foreseeable future. Fordo, deep underground, Natanz, the big enrichment site, Isfahan for conversion. The idea seems to be a major setback. Some estimates mentioned in the sources suggest years. But beyond the physical damage, the global reaction, it was instantly and very explicitly divided. No consensus there at all.
A major setback indeed, if those assessments hold up. Okay, so divided reactions. Let's break that down. Our sources point to support, or at least a certain view, coming from a couple of key places. First, Israel praising the strike openly. And second, the UN calling for diplomacy pretty much immediately. How did these fit together on the foresight or perhaps the managing the aftermath side?
Well, looking deeper into the source material, Israel's praise, while expected perhaps, comes with nuances. Some material hints at internal debates there. Does this solve the problem or just, push Iran towards different, maybe sneakier methods? It's about that long game.
Right. And the UN's call for diplomacy, it seems less about approval of the strike itself and more about damage control, preventing escalation. That's their core job, isn't it? Maintaining peace and security, even when something this big happens. It's about trying to contain those ripple effects.
Okay. So containing the fallout makes sense. But obviously there's the other side, a strong against perspective. What arguments are surfacing there, according to our sources? Yeah, the against camp, as reflected in our sources, really focuses on two big things. First, major concerns about international law being breached. Was this legal? Was it justified under existing frameworks? And second, just widespread concern for civilians, the humanitarian impact, the fear of wider conflict. You really see these different lenses, don't you? One side might focus on the perceived threat removal, the other on sovereignty, international rules like Article 2.4 of the UN Charter about using force. Our sources show a real debate about whether this action meets any exceptions, like self-defense. And then there's the undeniable human cost, or potential cost, that many immediately worry about. It boils down to intervention versus sovereignty and legality, plus the human element.
So it's crystal clear from the sources. A very significant U.S. military action. These facilities reportedly obliterated, and the global reaction is immediate and sharply split down the middle.
Exactly. And thinking about how divided that reaction is, especially around interpretations of international law and sort of national rights, maybe the question for you, the listener, to ponder is this. Does this incident, as laid out in the sources we've discussed, signal a real shift? Are we seeing global powers maybe bending or even bypassing traditional international rules more often? And if so, what could that mean for, keeping the peace collectively down the road?
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.